Hey everyone, and welcome to day 2 of my horror movie review marathon, and I've got your Nosferatu movie review. In 1922, an unauthorized film was made and had to be changed from being considered a Dracula movie to Nosferatu. But is it still scary? As far as the story goes, this Dracula adaptation is a silent film that is hailed as one of the scariest horror films of all time. I've already seen so many vampire movies to last a lifetime, even once including the original Dracula movie, which I reviewed a couple years ago, and so I wanted to see if this movie was really worth my while. I really saw some good things about it. I actually hadn't seen an original silent horror film. The only silent movie I've ever seen in my life was The Artist, but that wasn't even scary, unlike this one. Things were pretty interesting right off the bat, and it just was so completely terrifying. I honestly didn't think I was gonna get scared watching this because I thought it was just gonna be really cheesy and old-fashioned, which it did obviously have that old-fashioned vibe with the whole black and white film, but I thought it was just so authentic. I am starting to get a hang of these movies, and I'm becoming a huge fan of them. As far as the casting goes, you've got Max Schreck, who plays Count Orlok, aka Dracula, aka Nosferatu. It's really creepy role that I think is, it should be considered iconic, up there with Bela Lugosi as the other Dracula. He, puts on this, whole spin on this character, and, without, hearing, how they talk, all you see are just actions and mannerisms, and you really get that here. It really helps to just completely pay attention to those things. It was pretty creepy. I feel like every scene he just steals, and it makes you love to hate him. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And of course, you've got other supporting cast members in this movie, and they're pretty good too, but I feel like all we ever want to see in this movie is Max Schreck play Nosferatu. Everything that he does, everywhere that he goes, anybody that he comes in contact with, obviously that is one that you want to see. The things that I did like about this movie, the musical score going on throughout the entire film, it just sounds completely awesome, especially when it goes to all those silent moments with no music at all. And then you've got the darkness and the terror in each scene. Like when Hutter, aka Jonathan Harker, he discovers a sleeping Orlok in his coffin, and it is just really creepy because you don't know if he's gonna wake up or not. And maybe even a little bit of suspense, like when Orlok comes walking slowly into a room. Harker is just scared out of his mind, so you kind of think something bad's gonna happen there. And at that same moment, the other character, Nina, one of the female characters, wakes up in a trance and freaks the F out. I feel like there's just so many moments to mention in this movie. It seems like a really unforgettable film. I actually enjoyed watching this movie altogether. It definitely felt different than any other movie or any other way that I was so used to seeing Dracula or the whole Dracula story being told. So I think this movie definitely stands out on its own as being a huge masterpiece. Overall, I would say that Nosferatu is a pretty impressive film, especially being made way back in the day, back in the 20s. So I gotta give them props for making this movie, even though they kind of didn't have the rights to call it Dracula per se. But either way, it was still an awesome film. I would highly recommend checking out seeing this movie, and I would give this 5 hearts on the heart rate scale. So Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Nosferatu, and come back tomorrow for day 3 of my horror movie review marathon. And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates coming every week for a Trail Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys